because of this will now show up only in the April quarter of FY21. Of FY22, the first quarter of FY22, right? Because everybody can use this FITL, and only if they don't pay on March 31st, it will show up as a bad loan. Bank balance sheets and P&Ls are safe for the first 3 quarters of this year, you think?
No, actually Q2 in September, the term loan repayments will start. Actually, the SMA2 position as of 1st March gets restored on 1st September. Okay. So September quarter itself on the term loan will have the pressure of repayment. Okay. Yeah, and on working capital side also, he said it's a funded term loan. It might start in September itself. So yes. Q2 and Q3 itself, the NPAs may come in if the proper restructuring is not given.
Okay. So please stay on. I have lots of doubts for the bankers, and you also have higher exposure that you can take to a group, up from 25% of your net worth to 30%. I'm just coming to you in a minute. Sajid Chinoy, the Chief India Economist at JP Morgan, is also with us. So let me get an economist view. We did have Dr. Sen's view. Sajid, first thoughts, you think 40 basis is all that we have got in terms of interest rate, and the TREPS, that is the tripartite daily repo, is already trading at 2.5. So is this rate cut really of much significance?
But Lata, that's the key point, I think, here, that firstly, I think the 40 to 50 basis points was expected. Remember now the cumulative effective policy rate cut has been, 155 basis points. I think the key here is with the TREPS rate already trading between 25 and 100 basis points below the reverse repo rate, based on the distribution of liquidity in the system, there's only so much firepower the RBI has. And given the quantum of uncertainty, you want to leave a little gunpowder for later, which is why most of us thought you do a 40 to 50 basis point cut now, allowing you to do more rate cuts down the line if the economic situation so warrants. So I think this was in line with expectations.
Okay. Okay. Just stay on, Sajid. I just want to ask Mr. Rai. Mr. Rai, you see a seminal fall in deposit and lending rates now?
The deposit rates have come down substantially.
Can't come down further?
Yeah, because these 40 basis points gets passed on as EBLR cut immediately, that 40 basis point, and MCLR is gradually coming down. You would have seen, actually, our governor also mentioned the transmission is really happening now.
Okay. But even then, the transition is happening, but how much lower can you take the deposit rates? Will you reach a point where you can't really reduce deposit rates beyond a point? Have you reached that stage already?
Yeah, I think the deposit rate further cut will be a bit difficult because as it is, we are at the lowest point. But then looking at the deposit growth, I think there is another 40-50 basis point cut on the deposit side is possible.
Even savings rate will be cut, you think?
Yes, very much.
Okay, what is it standing at? 2.75 now?
That is for the SBI.
Yes.
We are slightly above that, but then there is a scope for further cut in savings rates also.
Okay. All of you, listen in. Every one of us have money in savings accounts, and that is now perhaps not going to earn 3% in public sector banks and not even 2.75 in SBI. It could go down even further. And of course, along with it, all the term deposits also fall. This is something which everyone has to take on board. Everyone's earning of interest is going to fall. This is nationally an important announcement that savings rate, what you get for a savings deposit, is also likely to fall. Just a minute, Mr. Rai, this increase in 25 to 30% is a big relief. Were you hitting the limit for many groups?
Yeah, actually this will help because we may be doing some further credit to existing corporates to tide over this current situation. It is a good relief.
Okay. Sonal Verma, HR Khan are also joining us. Do stay on, Mr. Rai. Mr. Khan, your first thoughts. Do you think the RBI could have done more? I mean, the market wanted HTM status for government loans that they buy, government bonds. The market also wanted, restructuring rights for all loans, especially loans to transport and aviation industry.
I think the governor has mentioned quite a few measures they have taken. Both they have been quite reactive and as well as very proactive. They have been in terms of, for example, as we were anticipating, they have a out-of-turn MPC and they have not hesitated to take a decision. They have going beyond the cycles. They have, as Dr. Sen was mentioning, this has become sort of a practice that whenever there is need, MPC can meet at short notice and take a decision. I think that's a great development, because times like this, you can't wait for your cycle and days to come.
Yes.
So I think that has been put into practice. That's a great evolution.
Yes.
And that is one major thing. In terms of monetary policy, perhaps market was anticipating 40-50. It has happened, but some activation of standing deposit facility probably some people are expecting, because the money would have been deposited at a lower rate than reverse repo. That would have nudged some more lending to happen. But lending in the current situation is not going to happen so easily. The other thing is they have been quite alive to the pain points. For example, the SIDBI rollover was a big issue. They have allowed, and because 90 days was what was permitted in the Act, so now they have proactively announced another 90 days rollover.
Now with this rollover, you think, sir, you think with SIDBI also getting this 15,000 crore getting rolled over, do you think that CGT MSC which was announced, most of the NBFCs were disappointed that fund would only buy 3-month paper. Now you think that can be extended because the
That I think that is the trigger. Similarly, for Exim Bank also, they have extended some line of credit, as you were discussing in the morning. But very most important 10 point has been that interest which would have accumulated on 31st May and which was to be paid in one go.
Yes.
And very, very appropriately, it has been funded interest term loan has been provided. It will be paid over next 6-7 months up to 31st March. This was one big ask which has been looked at by the RBI, and also quite a few other things have extended up to 31st March, not even August. For example, the margin requirement and reassessment of working capital. This, along with government's announcement that you have a guarantee-supported government MSME scheme, so that should help. But 2-3 things probably the next round, as Governor has said, they're quite vigilant and ready to do whatever is needed to do. I think the next round possibly they will look some more thing in terms of debt management. You talked about how do you handle the bulge in borrowing both by the center and the state government. OMO calendar or some subtle way of monetization pending real pure classical monetization, and big ask of going to be, because as Governor has said that growth is going to be negative, at least this part. Now we have gone beyond 1.9 positive of IMF, so now growth is going to be negative. So how much that negative, as the data evolves, we'll know. People have started talking about -5%, -2%. So that is the case. So the bank balance sheets are going to be very, very ugly, and this NPA situation is going to be very, very catastrophic. Estimate is that at least 15 to 20% NPA will go from 9%, maybe more than 20%. So this big corporate sector, because IBC is not there, I think that restructuring in some way or other has to come, and we need massive tweaking of June 7 circular. And maybe some thought about the stressed asset fund or bad bank, and RBI has some funds earmarked for financial stability.
Got that, sir. So actually, you have summarized very well all the market's disappointments. Market was hoping for a full-fledged restructuring of loans. They were hoping that there will be some announcement on a stressed asset fund or bank. They were hoping that there will be some kind of an HTM granted to all purchases of government bonds. And they were hoping for a number on GDP. All that the governor has said is that it would be negative. So the 1.9 which IMF said is now gone. It is negative, as the governor has admitted. But so please stay on. One person who was first to say that it could be -5 GDP or on the GDP, Sonal Verma, is with us. Sonal, would that be a disappointment? Could the governor and the RBI and the MPC have given us some working number for the GDP and caveating it that this is a functional number?
Hi, Lata. Good morning. I mean, some band of uncertainty, yes, could have been given, but perhaps, as we get a few more high-frequency indicators for, FY21, we just have months data for a few sectors. I think the MPC, the RBI is going to give some guidance on that. But I think one two things actually. One, in terms of the growth inflation dynamics, while the governor talked about near-term upside risk to inflation, clearly they do see this as transitory. the observation that growth risks are acute signals, even though they haven't given an explicit number, they do see a risk of a serious growth moderation. And I think the second aspect is that, while the room is still open for further easing, just cutting on the repo rate beyond a certain point is not going to help, and incrementally the focus has to be on measures to improve transmission. So, whether it's increasing the HTM limit, OMO calendar, the SPV that has been announced for the NBFC, but there are many other sectors because of the slowdown which are under stress, including the mid-tier NBFCs, the commercial real estate sector, mid to middle and lower-rated corporates. So I think incrementally it has to be more sort of sector-specific measures to improve more transmission. Although repo rate will be brought lower, but I think now we are at a juncture where the focus has to be more on transmission.
Well, actually, the stock markets are clearly expressing their disappointment. We have to take on board the fact that today the global markets are also in a funk. That is because of